Warning, the following review will have spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. Endgame. Better than Infinity War, but only by slightly. Does break the timeline with the time travel aspects, but I'll get into that a little later. It's a meh. It's not a bad meh. It's more along the lines of a good meh. I hate this fucking chair. And if I had paid to see this and it hadn't been free, I would have hated this movie. But since I didn't pay for it, it got a little more slag on it. If you're a Marvel fanboy and you gush over all the stuff about it, you'll probably enjoy it more. I actually reviewed this movie after I got into watching it, and I gave it a much harsher thing, and I was more bad on it. That'll be at the end of this video. But if you want to hear that, I guess it's a B. The Marvel humor is there, and you only get like 3 minutes into the movie with it being serious tone, and then you get the jokes, and then the jokes pile on even more once Ant-Man comes into the play, and then when they go meet Hulk, the jokes just pile on, and it's just too much jokes. I definitely think the first 30 minutes of this movie should have been tacked on to the end of Infinity War, and as well as Captain Marvel's end credit scene, because they don't actually explain how she gets there. So if you skipped Captain Marvel, you don't see her coming there with the pager and everything. It's just, you have to just guess, oh, well, obviously she arrived. And so, yeah, if they had just clipped that on there, it might have made Infinity War feel like more of a singular movie and not a part one, but they didn't. It feels like if you saw Desolation of Smog, right when the dragon gets released and goes towards the town, it dies out. That's what Infinity War did. Because in Battle of the Five Armies, they show you how they defeated the dragon. And then the aftermath. This movie, Thanos, quote-unquote, wins and does his little snap. And then he goes to the other planet. And then the Avengers find him 21 days later. And they kill him. And then 5 years later, so instead of just, and that shows the aftermath of the 5 years later thing. So in reality, they really should have just clipped that, put that at the end of Infinity War, and then when this one started up 5 years later, would have made a better movie. My original reaction to this is actually put it under Infinity War on my MCU list, and I really hated it. You'll hear that in the review, because I'm actually going to keep that. But, after thinking about it for today, it's better than I originally thought it was, I guess. I went a little too mean to it, I guess you could say. But I don't think I'll ever grow past that. It's like I stupidly ordered the exclusive version of the film from Zavvi because I got an email about it today, and I really like how it looks. But in all honesty, I'm probably never going to watch this movie again, just like the other Marvel films, and it's stupid to waste $70 on that. Even though it looks nice, and I really miss the old-fashioned collector's editions with all the nice stuff in it, and the nice presentation of the cases. So, a piece of me wants it, but I'm just going to cancel the pre-order because it's a stupid waste of money. So, stay tuned for my review from when I walked out of the theater, and have a good one. What did you think of this movie? Comment down below. Warning, this review will have spoilers and will not be a good review for the movie. The movie does not have a positive score from me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have been warned. Okay, so the people who have either seen it or don't give a shit, like, myself. And here's the thoughts. Long, boring, and predictable. Everything that I have said in the past, as well as what My problem is that I watch a lot of entertainment news stuff because, well, one, it's free. Two, I got nothing better to do while I'm sitting here in the middle of nowhere for 8 hours overnight working. So I put that stuff on as background noise. And since after Ragnarok, I have basically all the people talked about it. Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, Entertainment Weekly, USA Today, ET, IGN, Nerdist, spoiled this damn movie years ago. And the marketing spoils it. There is one quote-unquote genuine surprise, but I don't know, who gives a shit? Because Black Widow dies getting the Soul Stone, but she's coming back for a solo movie in the next phase. So even if you like her, it's not like you're never gonna see her again because she's getting a freaking movie. Robert Downey Jr. dies obviously because his paychecks are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and if Disney signed him again, they'd have to make $1 billion just to break even. So the movie'd have to be a guaranteed success for him to be in it. Plus, as you see in the comics, they want to move on from him and go to like Riri Williams or whatever, the black teenager who's Iron Man now. And you could tell Chris Evans was going to be departing the franchise with this movie because, well, last year, in the middle of the year, we got done filming. He tweeted out a thing saying, it's my last day ever working on a Marvel set. I'm going to miss it, and it was so great, and everything. And all these moron places like IGN and everything tweeted about it. Not tweeted. Shared his tweet on every social media and everything. So you really couldn't avoid it. And, if it's his last, obviously he's not going to be in anymore. So, yeah. The whole surprise about who's going to take the shield now that Cap's an old guy because he went back in time to live all that stuff, which I was kind of thinking that broke the time travel thing because that would destroy what happened and all the rest of the things that Captain America's done, but the other one's still frozen in ice, so okay, that one doesn't work. But they will break the time stream later on when I will talk about it. But will Sam or Bucky take it? Of course Sam's going to take it. Not only is he an African man, but if you look at the comics currently, he's Captain America, and Disney has stated that the comic books are not comics, they're not art form, they are advertisements for the movie. So whatever in the comics is going to be in the movies. That's why they are pushing Captain Marvel so much in the comics, because she's going to be the new lead of the movies. That is why they got rid of the X-Men and Fantastic Four when Fox owned them, and they didn't own Fox because, well, they didn't want to advertise for those movies. But now that they own Fox, when the first word of them coming back, for when Disney owning Fox, Fantastic Four was rebooted. So yeah, and with Sam being Captain America in the comics, obviously they were going to choose him. But I don't mind. I didn't mind both of the actors. And back when I actually loved this franchise, I think on my original review on Facebook, when I was just doing it for friends and family and just nothing better to do with my life, kind of like this, but it was more private. I said how I love both actors and I thought they both did well, and I wouldn't care who took over. And Woke Randolph last year about her thoughts of this, of who was about Endgame, guessed that Iron Man would be the one to snap and get rid of Thanos. So yeah. So all these people talking about how, don't spoil the movie. Well, this thing has been spoiled for 2 years, so of course I'm not going to enjoy it. It's probably be like Infinity War, where I'll try to watch it. I get an hour into it, I press pause, leave. I don't want to bother, because I can watch other things. I would not tell people to go to the theaters unless you're a Marvel fanboy. Like, the Marvel fanboys are the ones that are going to be crying and He was being shocked and all that kind of shit. But everybody else, eh. The only genuine surprise thing was that they, instead of trying to travel in time and everything and leaving Thanos alive there, they killed him in the beginning. And then the past one. So now let's get on to the time-breaking thing. So Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 no longer happen because Gamora no longer exists, because the Gamora of the past, before she met Peter, has now been pulled from time and placed with Peter and the gang so that they have Gamora again to get around the whole loophole of her being killed. So now she was not chasing Peter, so he just kept walking. So all I had to do was fight Groot and Rocket for the stone. And, she wasn't in 1 or 2, so, big time consequences. But, you're not supposed to think about that kind of stuff. It's a Marvel film. And once you press any kind of questionability or logic to a Marvel film, it just falls apart. That's why I will always laugh my ass off at people saying how great these movies are, but yet they're the same quality as the other comic book genre movies, and yet they will bitch and moan and complain about those ones, and yet these ones are like the perfect gems and they're Oscar worthy. No. They're the same quality, which is why I am more picky on these films, because someone's got to point it out. I guess maybe I might do it on Black Friday as a completionist type thing, but I honestly would never want to watch this movie again, because you know what's going to happen? You don't care. It's like even Professor Hulk, with him being having Hulk's body but Bruce's mind. That was even ruined by marketing material. Cereal boxes, t-shirts, toys. I wasn't even looking at that crap, looking for it, and I saw it in stores. On the back of a Honey Wheats box, on Honey Nut Cheerios box, there's Professor Hulk. Time travel story arc part. That was ruined by Nerdist and all them covering the set shoots that were leaked of them holding the little thing on their hand. And the fanboys are all going to think how great it is that Captain America could pick up Thor's hammer. He gets that back when it's through time travel aspects. So now he's removed that hammer, and he removed it from Dark World. So that means he didn't have it to finish Dark World, and he did not have it during Ragnarok for Hela to destroy it. Another time travel breaking, but whatever, Marvel, that's all great, and we all love it. And just as I said, all the deaths, sorry about the chair, were reversed from Infinity War, except for the ones that happened before the snap, except for Gamora with the stupid timeline breaking thing. But, and in this one, the only quote-unquote sad ones are Iron Man and Black Widow. But as I said, she's getting a movie of her own, so she's going to be back real soon, even though she's going to be dead because it'll be a prequel. And Iron Man, well, Robert Downey Jr. cost too much. But Captain America got a happy ending, and when you look into his happy ending, it really falls apart drastically, or he's an evil bastard, because he abandons his friend to be tortured and turned into the Winter Soldier, when in Winter Soldier he is told by the guy with the glasses where Bucky's being held and where he's being tortured for all those years. So shouldn't he have changed that? But he didn't, because Bucky's still there as an adult and Winter Soldier. So he's still like in his 40s instead of the 80s like Captain America is. So yeah, either Cap's a real evil bastard, or it's Marvel. I'm gonna guess it's just Marvel. And of course, Tony was going to die because he can't retire. They've already showed him try to retire a couple times. He just can't do it. So for Bree to become the new face of the MCU, you have to get rid of the original face, because you can't have the original leader and the new leader be around, because that's just awkward. If you want any proof of that, just look at Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where Raph is the leader and Leo is not. He's been the leader for 20-something years, but, now let's make Raph the leader. It'd be like this one. And of course, you can't have a teenage girl, because Riri Williams is a teen girl who gets the tech. So, yeah, you can't have a teen leading it. If you were, why wouldn't you have Spider-Man? Because he's been there a little longer. So, that's my review. And yeah, it was a waste of 3 hours. Have a good one, and I may review Far From Home. There's nothing else on. I need a video for today, or I may not bother watching the MCU movies anymore, because if someone just doesn't enjoy it, what's the point? I mean, people don't want to see reviews about how negative the thing is. They want to see positive reviews. They want to see happy reviews. They want to see people who are echo chambers about how, oh, that's my favorite movie. You have to love it. They don't want to see the negative ones. Have a nice day, and that's it. Here's another funny side note with them bringing everybody back 5 years later and not reversing time to the point when they would be returned. With all the airplanes falling from the sky at the end of Infinity War, and, cars crashing into each other, boats sinking, subs sinking, all that kind of stuff. You didn't get to see the boats or the subs, but that obviously happened because those things exist. Or subs, or boats running ashore and everything. If you brought people back, like they brought the heroes to where they were fighting, but normal people, like Betty Ross, because they said she died, even though they're not really talking about her very much, she would have been brought back wherever she was. So if she was in her car and her car went off a bridge, that means her car's in the water or whatever the side of the bridge is. And I mean, wouldn't she be put back in her car? Or would they be put back right where they were? So, if when the plane fell out of the sky, the people will be put up in the sky and fall the 1,000 feet or so it takes the plane to get up, or they just put back on the ground magically because we want to bring them back. That's another thing they don't really explain, and it's a thing that will destroy the movie when you think about it. But then again, you're not supposed to think about it because it's a Marvel film. You're just supposed to have fun. Yeah, of all the praise these things get, I can't have fun of them. Somebody has to be the one to point out how garbage these films actually are, how mediocre they are. Because none of them are actually garbage, except for maybe like Iron Man 3. But they're just so freaking mediocre, and everybody's praising how great they are and how the best movies ever made. Somebody has to point out that they're not. Might as well be me. Because, hey, I can't enjoy the movies anyways because, well, have everybody praising on my mind will only think about how bad they are. Like, oh, God, this is boring. It's like, if everybody's saying how shit the prequel Star Wars movies were, I started looking at the original trilogy, and now when I watch them, I can't enjoy those movies. Even though I will admit they are good movies, and I do like them. But all I will see is the flaws, the lines from how they were holding the props up, the bad effects that are in it, because people are talking about practical effects and real sets when, okay, that's paint. That's paint. Yep, that's paint. Yeah, that's paint. Yeah, that's green screen. Yeah, that's green screen. So, yeah. That's how my mind works. You spend so much time with these people online who worship some things and hate other things when they're both the exact same quality. My mind will start focusing on the thing that they're praising about how bad it is, about how they're just the same quality. So someone can point out how bad the one is and how it's the same quality of stuff.